Hey, what's up, everybody? I am back, and I want to come back today with a video response for Greg over at North Coast Baseball Cards. I love Greg's channel. He's got an amazing collection. Super great guy, too. So I wanted to participate in this, although I kind of feel bad because um, he wants us to share three products that we have opened this year of baseball that we like, and then three that we don't care for. And then I'm going to kind of do like Adam's card closet, and I'm going to kind of have another little three category as well. And they are the three brands that I have wanted to get cards of that I either haven't found them at my LCS or I just was kind of outpriced on them for my hobby dollar. So my wax opening has been pretty limited this year. 2022, I did a hobby box of Series 1 flagship Topps. I did a hobby box of Topps Heritage. And then I've done a little bit of retail stuff here and there of like some Bowman and just some of the other very small sampling of some of the other products. And a lot of that's just been because of the cost and then just the availability. Like out in my neck of the woods, we still have a lot of these people who I don't know, like you get to the store and you can see the displays there, but the cards are gone. So evidently the folks out here are still trying to strike it rich, and they don't realize that it's not 2020 anymore. I don't know. Maybe there is this awesome retail underground around here that I'm just not in the loop on. I don't know, but it's still hard to find. And then the LCS, some of the hobby boxes are pretty expensive. So anyway, I have a very limited lens to look through this at. So some of this stuff, isn't the highest end, but again, just like I say, bear with me. So the three products that I have really enjoyed the most this year, the first one I want to start out with is Bowman. I used to do, and I am eager to get back into it this season. I'm going to venture out on Friday. It is opening day at my local AAA ballpark, and I'm going to go venture back down and try to get some in-person autographs again. I want to get back into that. I haven't done in-person autographing at my local minor league team since 2019, pre-pandemic. And, I did a little bit in the fall league last year. It was a ton of fun. But when I was doing that, I purchased mostly Bowman Draft, a lot of the minor league stuff, prospect stuff. And I know Greg's a big prospector, but I love Bowman. And so I want to put that one out there because I like that you get a mix of the vets, you get a mix of the prospects. So you kind of get the up and comers, but then also the stars that are in the game now. Love Bowman. Unfortunately, I was hardly able to get any because retail wise, it was gone, hard to find, and then at the LCS, it was just really high priced. So this year I was not able to. That was one that every single year in years past before the boom, I would always get at a minimum like one jumbo and even like a hobby box every year without fail. And I haven't been able to do that the last few years because the prices have just been crazy high. The next one I want to show, this is a product that I look forward to every single year. And I went to buy a box this past weekend. And I didn't realize that the release date has been pushed back to like May. So it's a bummer because usually Topps Heritage comes out pretty close to Topps Flagship. Pretty close to the beginning of the season. You'll get your Topps Heritage out there. I had been looking forward to this year for Topps Heritage for several years because for me, 1973 Topps is one of my all-time vintage sets that I just love. I mean, there's just a handful of them out there that are just fantastic. And, for me, 73 is one of those. And so I was very eager to get into some Topps Heritage this year. I just love the 73 Topps. And so that was a product that I really enjoyed. And here is another one that I like a lot that I recently did a rip of. I found a blaster retail-wise is Topps Update. I look forward to Topps Update a lot because, again, in years past, which most of my collecting up until the past few years. I feel like I've been more of a traditional collector the last few years because I haven't been doing the autographing, but so I've put a lot more of my money into actually collecting and not just picking up minor league team sets, prospect issues and stuff like that, because I was just pretty much solely focused on, getting cards autographed. And I always look forward to Topps Update because that's when you get a lot of the good rookie cards. This year was no different. We've got Bobby Witt Jr. I got a couple of his cards in my blaster that I got. And you get a lot of the guys that have been called up during the season. You get some of those September call-up type guys or guys that have been up through the summer, and those are a lot of guys that you'll see in AAA the following year. And so that set was awesome because you could get good rookies, and then you can also get guys that you can get signed. You'll probably see in AAA. So I always look forward to Topps Update. This year was no different. Really enjoyed it. So these are my 3 that I opened that I liked the most this year. So I will show 3 that I didn't get to rip yet. And I will go, I'll just start with the first one on the top. This is obviously not a card from this year because I don't have any. That's a Bowman draft of Alec Bohm. And that's another one I used to always get at minimum a jumbo box of Bowman draft. Love that product, and my LCS and just online everywhere, it's just an expensive box. I mean, it is not cheap. So I didn't get any again this year. So that's a product that I hope I can get some, but again, pricey box. Here is another one that I am hoping to pick up soon. Again, this is not a current version of this year, but Topps Pro Debut. This was a fun set every year. I like this one because, again, I like to get in-person autographs. I like to prospect a little bit, and it's nice because you get a pretty decent little mix of autographs in this product as well. And you can get some guys that pan out and some don't, right? That's kind of how prospecting goes. And then, of course, I'm going to follow that up with, this is the 1971 version. There's a couple-year-old card there of Alec Bohm from Topps Heritage Minor League. I love Topps Heritage Minor League, and always look forward to that. And was hoping to snag a box of that recently as well. And my LCS is out. Their wax is pretty picked over. They had some Donruss. I can't remember if it was Donruss or Donruss Optic. And people have been pulling awesome stuff out of that one, it sounds like. But I just, I haven't ripped a lot of wax just because of the prices. I just kind of evaluated a while ago, and I just was looking for my hobby dollar, collecting on a budget like I do. I've got a couple little kids, got the regular bills like most other people have. You got a mortgage and you got just, this is a hobby, right? So I can't throw endless amounts of money in. So I feel like I want to try to make my hobby dollar stretch. And so I've really been going and just being more of a singles purchaser, and getting singles and lots and getting the cards that I want versus being able to just go buy the hobby boxes. Because, a box that a few years ago I used to be able to pick up for $65 is probably double that now, or more. So I've kind of had to pivot on my collecting habits, and unfortunately the wax ripping is kind of what has suffered because the prices have just gone way up. So these are 3 that have always been staples in my collecting life that unfortunately I didn't get a chance to open this year, and I would love to have a chance to open some of them. So we will see. And then a few products that I didn't care for this year. And this is hard because I just love cards, right? I mean, I don't like to, bang on, I don't like this card or whatever, because I love cards. But again, for purposes of the video, one set that came to mind that I just did not really love like I have in years past is Topps Finest. But at the same time, they're beautiful cards. I mean, here's a Bryce Harper, beautiful Topps Finest refractor. I showed this one on a recent video as well. This Manny is just amazing, just incredible. It's numbered out of 50. And again, these are my 2 favorite teams right here. So I'll put these guys side by side. Let me talk a little bit about Topps Finest. I guess for me with this one this year, I think they're beautiful cards, but I think just for my personal taste in baseball cards, I guess, I just kind of like the traditional backdrop. And I'll just put this one back up here again. Um, Instead of just these little shapes and stuff, like I just kind of like the stuff going on in the background, like your typical backdrop, like the crowd, the stadium, other players, warming up, the dugout, stuff like that. I just kind of like that more natural photo background more so than like this with just these with just the player and then just these weird shapes in the background and stuff like that. That's just kind of my personal preference. I think the cards themselves are beautiful and I love these, but I don't know that I would throw down a lot of money to go buy like a case of this or several boxes or anything like that because I just don't like the look of them as much. And then the next two, these are ones that I and like I said, this is where I'm like, I hope my video will count because I didn't rip any of this. And again, this is because of my, I collect on a budget. And so there's a couple brands out there that when it comes to the baseball stuff, I just don't, I like them. I don't love them. And I just didn't buy them because I just I don't love them. If I see some singles or something, maybe I'll pick them up. Um, but again, in the first one of these, and again, this is hard because I've heard people pulling awesome hits. This is going to be a 2019, and this is like not a base card. This is a shiny Aniel de los Santos. But I just kind of struggle with the Donruss, and then the second one I was going to talk about is going to be Prism. And I love these products in football and basketball. Baseball, and I hate to be a snob, I hate to be that unlicensed, isn't my thing guy, because I really feel like Topps, and I guess pretty soon it'll be Fanatics, it's going to be a different situation, but I don't know. I mean, I think competition is good. And so it's kind of a bummer in a way that they haven't been able to get a license because I think if these had logos, they would really push Topps to step their game up with some of the product. So I just have a hard time like just seeing the blank hat and all this empty jersey in there. I mean, it's just isn't very aesthetically pleasing for me. It's just kind of not. It just doesn't do it for me, And when I got to collect on a budget, if I'm going to buy a pack of cards or a box of cards, I'm going to pretty much just get something that I know I'm going to be happy with. And so, or I'm going to buy singles. So I didn't buy any Donruss or Prism this year, but they're products that even when I see them at the store, I'm like, I'll wait. I'll come back. Maybe Topps Heritage will be in, or maybe Topps will be back, or I can catch another product that I just like better. But on the other hand, I probably should give them a shot. I don't know. I mean, I've heard stories of people pulling massive hits, and I have seen some of the photos on some of the more recent seasons aren't quite as bad. Obviously, these guys are pitchers, so it's tricky because you don't really get them swinging a bat or in a pose that can kind of hide the unlicensed issue. And this is an example. I bought this one the other day as a single at my LCS. This is just a beautiful card. This is the Optic Holo rookie of Trey Turner. And so I sit here and I throw shade because I'm like, oh, I don't love that these aren't licensed. But then I look at this and I'm like, man, that is just a gorgeous, gorgeous card. And he's swinging a bat. And so you don't really run into the issue that maybe like this Aaron Nola with all this blank open space on the jersey and the hat have. So it's a tricky deal. Maybe one day I can get past that, but that's just kind of something I struggle with. And so I didn't even buy any of the Donruss or Prism this year just because it just isn't, like I say, collecting on a budget. I just feel like I got to really pick and choose my spots when it comes to cards, and especially when it comes to wax. So I typically just go with the ones that have what I'm looking for. So hopefully that's it. Hopefully that'll count, Greg. Although I didn't open Donruss or Prism, That's at least my take on a few products that I like and a few that I didn't care for as much. But either way, I mean, cards are great. I love cards. I mean, like I say, it's not to say that I have anything against, Panini products, because I have plenty. But I love cards. But if we gotta, pick a few we like more than others, that's the votes I would give. So Greg, hope this counts. Everybody that is not familiar with Greg's channel, definitely check him out. You won't regret it. Awesome guy, awesome collection. He's even got an awesome breakers mat, way better than my bland, boring black one. His is really cool. So we'll catch you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I will put a link to Greg's channel in the description or the title of my video. Give him a look. You will not regret it. We'll see you on the next video. Have a good night, everybody.